Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be working on this PlayStation 5 which was purchased off of eBay for £179.50, which I couldn't fix in part 1. So this is going to be part number 2, and the reason that I've had to make a 2 parts of this is because of stupidity. And not on my part, on the part of the last person who worked on this. So if you haven't watched part 1, I highly recommend checking it out. I'll leave a link in the information card just above the video. But the TLDR on this is that the last person who worked on this attempted a HDMI repair. And apparently it was turning on and working before they attempted the repair, but now it doesn't turn on. The listing said that it does show signs of life, and that's not true. It didn't show any signs of life. It made an occasional beep, but it didn't show any light or anything, so that was wrong for a start. And then when I took a look inside, it turns out that they've used Hakko flux. If you don't know what Hakko is, it's a plumber's flux. It's highly corrosive, and it basically ruined this board. Completely ruined it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix this, and to be honest, I really don't hold high hopes for it. But I'm going to give it a try anyway. This is part number 2, like I said. But if you are new to the channel and you enjoy this type of content, I would really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you do want to organise a repair, if you don't feel confident in doing it yourself, check out the website consolefix.co.uk, where you can book in a repair or get in touch if you've got any questions about it. I also run an online store, consolefix.shop, where you can buy used parts, some new parts, but used parts mainly for consoles and laptops, etc, etc. The stuff that I can't fix, that I buy for videos and things, if I can't fix them, I'll strip them down, I'll test all of the individual parts, and if they're good, then I can sell them on my website. So consolefix.co.uk and consolefix.shop. Those are my 2 websites. Highly recommend checking them out. And if you do want to support me, head over to Twitch and become a Twitch Prime subscriber by linking an Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and that way you can support me absolutely free, but it does massively help me out. So with that being said, let's get into this repair. Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay. Whether you're starting a small project to keep yourself busy, or you're looking to launch a brand new product into the world, PCBWay have got you covered. Your project can go from idea to reality with services including PCB prototyping, BOM management, mass production, and even CNC or 3D printing your final product. PCB production starts from just $5 for 10 1 to 2 layer boards, with professional PCB assembly starting at as little as just $30. Check out the link in the video description to learn more. Now let's get back to fixing this PlayStation 5. Alright, so this is in literally the exact same condition that it was in when I ended the last video. It's the same day. So I basically decided that I'd been filming for near on 2 hours and I was getting nowhere. So I basically downed tools, I've took a few hours break, had a go at the seller because it's absolutely ridiculous. And the seller's response was, I'll come and collect it in person. I never asked the seller for a refund, and they're saying, I'll come and collect it in person. That's not going to change the fact that the person who works on this is a moron. I'm sorry, but it's not. I don't usually like to slate other people like this, but honestly, if you watch part 1, you'll understand why. I had to grind away at the board, and let me tell you why I did that. So I've got this little grinder here, and well, to be fair, I mean, it looks very destructive. However, when used properly, this can be your best friend. So basically what I did was I ground away the top layer, a very thin top layer. And the reason for that was because the acids inside the flux that was used had already started to eat away at the board. And if I'd have left it, it would have literally just ruined the thing. It would have probably lasted a couple of weeks, couple of months at best. And I was actually having a discussion on Discord. We do have a Discord, by the way, so there'll be a link in the video description to that as well. But I was having a discussion on Discord with a few other technicians and a few creators. Uber Micro Repairs was one of them. Highly recommend checking him out. Friend of the channel. Link in the description to him as well. This video is just an advertisement, by the way. Don't get your hopes up. But highly recommend checking him out. But I was having a discussion and we was talking about how if I fix this for resale, which is the intention, if I'm going to fix this to resell, I can't put my... This is going to sound really, really cocksure and whatever, but I can't put my stamp of approval on this if I know that the type of flux that's been used is going to cause problems down the line. I'm not going to write this off or sign this off as good, knowing that it could potentially cause issues in the future. So I ground away at the top layer, I got rid of that corrosive, or rather the damaged area, and then I recoated that with some conformal coating, and basically that's going to prevent any damage going forward. But obviously that hasn't worked, so we've still got no power. So if I try and plug this in, it's not going to turn on. You watch it turn on now, sod's law. Yeah, so it's not going to turn on, and I've got my test rails, so something is horribly wrong here, and I don't know what. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I've just noticed that some solder has scrolled through there, so I'm going to check that out. Let's just see if that solder blob there was preventing it from turning on. It shouldn't do, because that should all be ground around there. It beeped. Alright then, whatever. Let's reset the power supply. Oh, this is going to be funny if that's the case. Let's see what happens. No, it's still not going to turn on, but it did beep. That's a bit weird. But then again, it was beeping occasionally when I first looked at this. Yeah, so it's not going to turn on. It's still the same situation anyway. So yeah, that would have been hilarious. I would have had to go back to the original video and carry on where I left off. But hey ho. But yeah, this isn't turning on. We're still no closer to getting this to work, and at the moment I don't know why. I do have a theory, and my theory is that it's possibly killed the HDMI encoder, so I'm going to change that first. Unfortunately, there's no real way to test the HDMI encoder, right? You can do diode readings and stuff, but you can also, to do diode readings, you're going to do, like 80 something diode readings. I think it's an 80 pin QFN, so you're going to do 80 diode readings, and then you're going to memorize all of them, and it's honestly just quicker to just change the chip. It takes a few minutes to change the chip. If you've got one in stock, you may as well change it, right? Because otherwise you're just wasting valuable time. One thing I don't like to do is waste time. So I'm not actually going to blindly change the encoder. What I'm going to do first is I'm just going to run around with the multimeter quickly and just see if I can pick anything else up around any of the other parts of the circuit and things like that. Just see if there is some sort of short, see if it's caused any other issue. But another annoying thing that I've noticed is that we've got signs that this flux has worked its way under all of the other ports as well, and yeah, it's not good, is it? I think, given the fact that it's just a small amount, I think it's probably best to just clean this. But I think what I'll do before I sell this, I won't do it on the video because it's going to be a case where it's going to take too long, and I don't have it in the workshop. This needs a good ultrasonic clean for at least 10 minutes. At least 10 minutes ultrasonic cleaning. So I'll ultrasonic clean the board before I actually sell it, because otherwise we could end up with future problems. It looks like the flux that's been here hasn't been heated to a point where it's started to become corrosive. Or at least I don't think so. I will inspect it, but if it has, then I'll have to take care of it. It actually might have done. That there looks okay. That there doesn't. That there doesn't look okay. I'll have to see what it looks like once I'm finished. I'll clean that, but I don't think that's going to be the cause. So let's just clean this up. But it actually does look like it's started to corrode everything else on the board, and this is a problem. Flux isn't going to stay in one place. when you heat up flux, it turns into a liquid. And that liquid is going to find its way into every single crevice that it can. Every crevice that it can, it's going to find its way in. I just hope it hasn't worked its way underneath the safe bridge and things like that. Alright, so let's just inspect some more areas. So this has essentially got the same issue that we had before. So that means that we've got a 1.5 volt rail missing and a 5 volt rail missing, because that's the issues that we had when I first got it. So let's just test in continuity mode for a short to ground. Actually, let's go for diode mode with no beeper. That will do. It's a bit late for the beeps. It's currently 3:18 AM. Okay, so 0.36, and I haven't got the multimeter on the screen. My apologies. Alright, bottom right hand corner, that's where my multimeter is. Let's give you some tests. So we get 0.36 there, that's normal. 0.36, and that's dead short, so that fuse is good. 0.29, okay, fine. Let's check around here. Okay, fuse is good. And yeah, everything around there is testing okay. I do have a strong feeling that this has taken out the encoder, to be honest. The encoder looks to be soldered properly. We do have a couple of pins on the edge which don't appear to have much solder on, but they are making a contact. I'm testing the actual side of the pin there. Actually, don't know. Is it? Yeah, there's enough solder on there. You can actually see where the solder's making a contact between the chip and the board. So yeah, and there as well. There's more than enough solder on there, and this chip is perfectly aligned as well. So yeah, I do have a feeling that this is going to be a case where the encoder's actually gone bad because of the damage, and that does cause this particular issue as well. You can actually see what looks to be some sort of damage to the chip itself as well, just there, look. Like it's actually eaten away at the chip, or it's got very, very hot. Look at that. That's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how much damage Hakko flux does. I've actually purchased some on eBay. I'm going to do a video on it. So make sure you get subscribed for that. Let me know if you've ever tried to use Hakko flux. I have. I tried it, and it took me about 10 minutes to realise, and I got it off the board as quick as I bloody could. I tried it on the first soldering job I ever did, and I got it off the board faster than I put it on, because I realised how bad it actually was. Alright. So I didn't even notice that before. So this chip here is the HDMI encoder, and like I said, it is known to cause issues with power. Okay, so there's a replacement chip. That is a donor chip. It should work. I'm not going to reach in the area because I'm going to run over with the iron afterwards anyway. There's more than enough solder on there to make the initial contact. But that's a donor chip and it should work. Okay, I saw that drop. So, I'm not going to clean the board yet, I just want to test it. That's all I want to do. If and when this board works, I will clean it properly, because I still need to do more to this anyway, even if it does work. I'm going to need to take that Ethernet port off, I think. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to give it a closer look, but I might need to replace that Ethernet port. Let's just give it a whirl real quick. Please work. Nope, still doesn't work. Time for plan B. So plan B is going to be to take a custom breakout cable that I've got and just see what my boot sequence is when it comes to pairing it up with the bench power supply. So this is my breakout cable, and I'm just going to have a look and see what happens. So I'll set my bench power supply to 12 volts. There we go. And yeah, no signs of life. Let's just have a look at the boot sequence on this. Let's see what happens when I apply power. And that might give me a little bit of an indication as to what's going on here. .004 milliamps. There's no initial startup sequence at all. So what's meant to happen here is we're meant to get a initial current draw of up to 300 milliamps. So you're supposed to steadily climb up to 300 milliamps before dropping back down to 0.004, where it's in that ready state. I'm going to remove the BIOS IC, and I'm going to, if I've got one, I'm going to drop one off a donor board. The reason being is because that can be a sign of a bad BIOS. So the BIOS IC is just here. So I'm going to remove that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that off the board for about 10 minutes. I'm going to hunt around for another BIOS IC, but I probably haven't got one. So what I'll do is I'll probably just leave this off the board for 10 minutes or so, give it time to reset. And the reason for that is because these sometimes go into sort of a well, it's kind of like a dormant mode. But then there's also been some speculation that it could be basically in write mode, where it's gone through an update and then crashed, shut off and stuck in write mode, and taking it off for 10 minutes normally resets it, if that's the case. I don't know if it is, it's a pure guess, but it is an educated guess, and yeah, we're about to find out if that's going to fix it. So now that we've done that, we shouldn't get any boot sequence at all, because the BIOS IC actually tells the board what to do. Yeah, there you go. So I don't think there's going to be any short on this. I don't know, but I don't think there's going to be any short on it, on the board itself, because it's not trying to draw that initial 40 milliamps of current, or 4 milliamps of current, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm going to leave this off for 10 minutes. I'm going to just let it settle. Some people do say remove the battery, it's just the same, but that's not really true, because some of the caps can hold charge for quite a bit of time. The capacitors, they can hold charge for quite a bit of time, and unfortunately that means that the BIOS doesn't reset, because it's always got a tiny bit of power, so it doesn't reset. I've tried removing the battery in the past, and I've left it off for 10 to 15 minutes. It didn't work, and then I replaced the BIOS with a replacement, and it booted up and fired up. So, and then by leaving it off for 10 minutes, actually got it to work. So I'm going to leave that 10 minutes or so. I will hunt around for another BIOS IC, but I don't think I've got one to hand, so I'm not going to fret too much. I'm just going to leave it off for 10 minutes. Alright, fresh coffee in hand, and it's been about half an hour, to be honest, because I really couldn't be bothered to come back to it. So I'm going to put this back on now and just see if anything happens in terms of the boot sequence. So let's just tin this area and put some fresh solder on it. So the BIOS IC is right next to the south bridge, just in case anyone's wondering. Okie doke, so that's tinned. And just for the record, I do actually sell replacement BIOS ICs on my website. They are blank, so you would need to program them. You would need to find a programmer that's capable of programming them and then copy your BIOS over. So it's useful if you've got a damaged BIOS IC or your BIOS IC is faulty or something like that. If you can read it and get the data off it, then you can replace it, but you do need to clone them. Okay, there we go. That's that. Let's just see if we get any change on the boot sequence. We probably won't. It's a bit of a long shot, but we'll see. Oh, there's a boot sequence, sort of. 0.056. That's a sort of boot sequence. It's not a boot sequence, but it is a sort of boot sequence. So something's going on here. Those tweezers I can't use. There's conformal coating on them. So let's just see. No, it's not able to. Alright. I was going to check and see if it was able to be turned on, but no. So I was just shorting out the capacitor that's linked directly to the power button to see if it turned on. But I'll try it on the housing anyway, but no. I might take the coating off the APU, so the plastic cover, and just see if we've got any liquid damage that's spilt down inside there. No. Okay, so it does do that initial beep, but no, absolutely nothing. One thing I did just notice is we have got some corrosion around here as well, so I'm just going to clean this, just in case that's causing some sort of a short somewhere. No. No, unfortunately not. So it's not the power supply, because if it was the power supply, then I wouldn't get that boot sequence, and it would attempt to boot if I had a bench power supply hooked up to it. So it's not going to be the power supply. The power supply could technically be faulty, yes, but it's not going to be the primary cause of this issue. One thing I didn't check was the capacitors around the Wi-Fi IC. Let's just check those. So the caps around the Wi-Fi IC can cause this issue. So I'll just check around here for shorts. Oh, 0.07. Actually, no, I think that's normal for that one. I think some of these are meant to have a low reading. This one down here is a common one to fail. No. Okay. Seems all above board to me. Let's just check this 1.8 volt line here. Well, 5 volt to 1.8 volt, should I say. So it takes 5 volts input to 1.8 volts out. No. Okay. Let's check around here. So if we've got a short around here anywhere, then it's going to be an issue with the south bridge. So I'm just going to scan these. No. Okay, no issues there. I'm running out of places to look, to be honest. Yeah, I am running out of places to look now. Alright, it's time to take this off. It's time to take this off. Actually, what's the state there? No, that's fine. Alright. Yeah, let's get this off. So this is just a sticker, but if I do get this board working, I'm going to need to recover this with conformal coating, to protect the APU. It's designed to stop liquid metal from leaking, but it doesn't actually work. They're actually a lot better off with conformal coating over the APU than having this on it, to be honest. No, unfortunately not. That is not the cause. I mean, I'm going to just put some conformal coating, sorry, not conformal coating, I'm going to put some isopropyl alcohol on anyway, because we could have some liquid metal that's kind of hiding, just shorting out two capacitors, but really, really small amounts. I've had that before. Let's just inspect the edges of the APU at the same time. See how easily liquid metal just works its way around? It's so annoying. It really is annoying. Just the tiny amounts that are just lying around everywhere, it gets in every single crevice. Even there, look. Well, like I said, even that little amount can cause an issue. Like one tiny drop in a place where it shouldn't be, where it's shorting out a component to ground, or shorting one component from one part of the circuit to another. But I can even see some on this cap here. It's super annoying because, yeah, like I said, it doesn't take much to short it out. In fact, I think I'm just going to clean this up. Just get rid of all of it. Look at it, it's hiding everywhere, look. It actually could be this what's causing it, because it gets in all the edges of the capacitors. Okay, that's clean enough. Let's just see if the boot sequence changes. Probably not, but hey ho. No, we've got 0.049 still. That hasn't changed one bit, and that sucks. That sucks. I think I need to write this one off, unfortunately. And this could have been fixed, which is the annoying thing. I'm not even bothered about losing money. I make money on videos. That's how I justify these purchases. I don't even care about losing the money for this, to be honest. £180, yes, it's a lot of money. I'll make £140 back on the power supply alone. So I really don't care about losing money. The thing I care about is the impact this has on society as a whole. Not just this console, I mean just this kind of thing. Like the amount of consoles that get ruined, or the amount of devices that get ruined by people who just don't know what they're doing, is ridiculous. This is one console that could have had a new lease on life, and yeah, it got ruined by an idiot. So sorry, there you go, I said it. Yeah, there's no way to be conservative about this, but you know, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do, I don't think. I'm not going to write it off completely. I'm going to keep this board to one side. I won't use it as a donor or anything like that. Or I'll try not to. I probably will, to be honest. But then again, to be honest, I'll make more money by using these as donors than I do as an actual console, to be honest. Because I can make £100 from one job by taking one component from this console. So yeah, overall, long term, I do make my money back on these. It's just it's time consuming. That's the only problem. But like I said, I'm not bothered about losing the money. I'm bothered about the fact that this could have been fixed and should have been fixed, and it wasn't. But it is what it is, like I said, and unfortunately there's just nothing I can do at the minute. Maybe I'll have a eureka moment. I am going to throw this through the ultrasonic cleaner, and if it works then I'll make another video, or I'll give an update on my community page and things like that. But it looks like it's going to be unfixable. It looks like it's been completely ruined, so yeah, never mind. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think down in the comments down below. If you are new to the channel and you're just finding me now, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and that way you don't miss any future videos. And if you do want to organise a repair, I promise I won't use Laco flux. I'll use proper flux. Kingbo all the way, baby. Kingbo all the way. But yeah, if you do want to organise a repair, consolefix.co.uk. And if you do need any parts for consoles and MacBooks, things like that, then head over to consolefix.shop. I do have an online store. It does directly support me because it allows me to actually make my money back on things like this. But with that being said, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye for now.